Right, this is a follow-up video. I was in Chris's live stream the other day, and the mighty win pointed out something. I was writing this down after I was watching the video, and I was writing this down at the same time. FFP. Now, that states you can only spend so much over 3 seasons, and we all know that one team in the Premier League, get away, went bananas, and that team, Manchester City, is a half of Manchester. Now, Manchester has been a hotbed of football for donkey's years, but it's all about the sponsorship and deals for players. Well, we all know that signing these players on mega bucks, and they've basically, the Premier League have them, I think, by the short and curlies, 100 and something charges against them. Now, they got away with it with UEFA, and UEFA can only go so far back. Premier League, different. But they're not the only team that's done this. Everton also did the same thing. And we've also got Chelsea, who basically, theirs was 650 million signing players on 8-year contracts, which we've never heard of. But getting back to FFP. Now, heard much about this in connection with Newcastle United. We can't get this player, we can't get that player because of these rules. Well, one thing which our old owner gave us was like a blank slate. So, with FFP, you're only allowed to do 105 losses over 3 years. Now, what happens with Manchester City? Well, they're guilty. I mean, you can't dust 100+ charges under the carpet. I think that's impossible. And one of the things in the video, it's 59 bloody minutes long, and they were talking about experts in the game, and what they were talking about was inflating prices. So say Etihad, the carrier of, the airline, had down on paper 4 million, and 4 million from 12, there's money outstanding, isn't there? Now, apparently ADUG, which is Qatar based, they were providing the extra 8 million per season, and that is not allowed. The sponsorship from the airlines, yeah, that is, but as I say, FFP is quite strict. And in relation to our club, Newcastle United, I think those down in London at the Premier League, really, considering there's Chelsea, there's Everton, and the big club, which is the champions, Manchester City. Well, if they've all done it, then I think they need to reevaluate, because, like I say, Manchester City Stadium's not that big. I mean, it was an Olympic venue, which was like kind of gifted to them. And yes, they have spent a lot of money, but that's come from ADUG, which is the actual true owner of the club. And as I say, with the these where they're trying to cook the books and hide information, well, because you're trying to do that, I think the Premier League should throw the bloody book at them. Whether that'll happen or not, well, that's another thing, isn't it? But like I say, I mean, our club, we kind of, when Amanda, me, dad, Jamie took over, we had a clean slate, and I hear loads and loads of comments from different YouTube channels where they are like, we're handcuffed by FFP. Well, if we start with a blank slate, how can we be handcuffed? And this is the point. You know, if you've got a blank slate, you can work from that blank slate to acquire players like, you know, we got Sven Botman in, we got Kieran Trippier in, and we got Alexander Isak in. Now, moving forward, right, we're just getting that Italian kid, Sandro Tonali. He's on his way to Newcastle on a private jet, so he will be presented. He'll do his media work and all the rest of it. Then he'll sign on the dotted line. Now, who we get after that? If it's was it Harvey Barnes? He's, you know, it's reasonable price. And this, like I say, when you're like developing, I mean, with what happened with Manchester City going back to them, they rebuilt the academy, first class, all the rest of it. And where if we put that into, say, our training ground, and I believe the training ground might move to Gosforth Racecourse, because there's enough land up there, and most of the land up there is owned by the Ruben family, so that's kind of in our court. But yeah, I mean, as I said earlier on a Twitter, where you basically press the camera and go live, I said about cryptocurrency for Newcastle United, because if the Italians have got it, then it's not like it's brand new, and we can use that in-house at Newcastle United for purchasing tops and other things which are in the club shop. So it's just ideas. But like I say, the main point of this video was the FFP, financial fair play, and we have a blank slate, you know, and we've got 52,300 who regularly attend St James's Park. So that's like, add that to your TV money. I think we've got room to play. And we've got room to be able to maybe get a marquee signing. Who that marquee is, I ain't got a clue. Because I know I do watch like the Loaded magazine, NUFC. I do watch the Toon Review when it's on about transfers. And there is some bloody decent players out there. And they are reasonably priced. And some of them are free. You know, there's no like haggling with the club. It's just a case of whatever wage they're on, paying that wage. But as I say, going like to these other clubs in our Premier League, because like obviously we're near the top of the Premier League, they need to look at Everton, Chelsea and Manchester City, and not at the end of next season or the season after, because all the evidence is there. Anyway, thanks for watching.